everyone, my name is Jennifer Cross and I'm here with Dixie Andelin Forsyth again for a feminine moment, and we are continuing the discussion on femininity since our video on the lack of feminine women in this country and in other places in the world is so popular and people are really talking about it. So we had a comment come in from a woman who said, how can she remain feminine, feel feminine, feel pretty as she ages, you know, as she's passing 40 and 50 and life is changing and she's feeling a little beat up. I'm not quite sure. I think her husband had passed away and things like that, you know.
Yeah, that's really common. But, you know, one of the things you need to understand is that I remember reading years ago when the actor Christopher Reeve was in that accident and he was paralyzed from the neck down, and his wife told him, he wrote in his book, his wife told him, you are not your body, you're still you. And no matter what your body looks like, no matter whether you get in an accident, you lose a limb or something like that, that does not define you. You are still you. And you are not what your body looks like, whether you know, the effects of aging is not anyone's favorite. And you know, but it's part of mortality. It's part of life. And you can be a feminine woman anytime you choose, because it's who you are inside. And even if you are less mobile and have to use a walker or in a wheelchair, it does not have to mean that you cannot be feminine. You can be charming and feminine every single day of your life.
How would you recommend she change her thinking then? Because I think it starts with how you think first.
Well, one of the things that would be really helpful is to read Fascinating Womanhood.
Yes,
and get
definitely.
Fascinating Womanhood vintage that my mother wrote. I think it's just kind of basic, just kind of. And you tell us what happened to you when you read it. Didn't it give you kind of a different foundation?
It was life-changing, as you know. I just showed the vintage edition, revised, an edited edition that Dixie did, but the one that your mother wrote that I read in the 90s was life-changing for me because it enabled me to release this inner feminine girl that I had been suppressing since I grew up in the 70s and being told, you know, to be more like a man.
The first thing for anybody who hasn't read it is to question, maybe, what if this is true?
Right.
And if it is true, check it out. We have videos, the regular videos we put on there. And the book, by the way, my mother wrote that book. I edited out the dated parts as she wished that I would do.
Yes.
Some people have been mistaken and think that I wrote it. I did not write her book. She wrote her book. My book, it's confusing because I wrote a book that's coming out soon and it adds to it. There's more information in there about some of these things, but Fascinating Womanhood Vintage Edition is a great foundation to give you an idea of femininity, and it's who you are. It isn't something you behave like. I mean, you partly behave like, but you don't adopt something that is completely foreign.
And I can hear the questions now. Well, I wasn't raised to be feminine. I was raised by all men. When I look in the mirror, I see a man. I act like a man. I just, you know, I think it's a matter of practicing. I know for me, I became more aware of my movement.
It's actually who you really are. It's who you really are. It's a matter of getting in touch with it. You may not have been taught that way. I mean, I may have been very shy as a child, but that doesn't have to define me. You know, I can choose to look at who I am, who I was born, how I was born. I was born female, and femininity, you're either masculine or feminine. Well, a masculine woman, it just doesn't work. Women don't make good men and men don't make good women.
So why would a woman then choose not to behave in a feminine way? Let's talk about that, because I think there's a psychology behind that.
Well, I think most of the time they either don't know or they're kind of discouraged and they think, what's the point? The point is you feel better being feminine. I'll tell you what, and there's masculine charm and feminine charm, but when a woman is charming in the feminine way that suits us, everybody loves that. Men love it, women love it, children love it. To be charming
true.
is a very attractive feature for anybody. And Of course we want to be charming. It's like they say, it's you can attract more bees with honey. And I'm not talking about just always attracting someone in a romantic way, just human beings. You can get along so much better in this world if you learn to be charming.
Right. And I'm thinking back to so many success stories from your mother's book, and you can find, you know, the classic edition still, but please go to the website fascinatingwomanhood.com, because Dixie's blog posts are so encouraging. If you're looking for ideas on how to inspire this feminine side of you that is obviously there, read
Oh, it's
that.
there. It's there. I've
Yeah.
seen it. I've seen it even just since I took over Fascinating Womanhood, since my mom passed away.
Mhm.
I saw things before, but not like now. I just think, my goodness, you know, it absolutely transforms people's lives when they embrace the feminine, the femininity that's already in them. When they learn to recognize it, just because it's been squashed doesn't mean that it's gone.
Right.
It's not gone, because it's who you are. And once you learn about it, you'll feel better whether you're 80 years old or 20 years old or whatever. You'll feel more attractive,
Yes.
even if you're living in a wheelchair, or even if you are have legs amputated, or whatever's the case. You lose all your hair, you can feel more feminine and better about yourself if you embrace femininity. And femininity is not weakness. It's women, we've said it in another video, women are physically smaller and not as strong as most men. It's a fact of life. So what? What's wrong with that?
Right.
We have other strengths that amply make up for that.
Yes.
So
Yeah, and that's probably a whole other little video. So let's.
that is not the only strength. I'll tell you what. That's, in fact, it's one of the lesser ones, but it's one we need men,
Yes.
and they need us. But our strengths are, don't cast them aside, because they're.
And maybe that's like one of the greatest crimes of feminism, is that it did rob women of the power of femininity in a way.
It has, and I see it all the time. I see it, and when women do tap into it, usually it's kind of by accident. Men will say, "Well, they were just trying to use male power." They don't even understand it. It's not even in the dictionary.
Yeah, that's going to have to change as part of the pro-feminine movement, Dixie.
Actually, maybe we're better off if they don't know the definition. Although it's not secret. It's not like we're trying to say it's some secret manipulative thing. It isn't. It's feminine influence, and we'll get into that later.
Thank you so much for your time today, and everybody for watching. We so appreciate you. You are very, very important to Dixie, to the Fascinating Womanhood movement, the pro-feminine movement. Please like, comment, and share. And even if you don't agree, that's the point of the discussion, is so that we can talk it through and learn about why you don't agree, because that helps us all learn more together and spread the message even further.
Yeah. I really like women. I think women are great, and we'll get into that another time too.
Oh yes, you do. Okay. All right, thanks everyone. Please like, comment, and share, and thank you so much for being here for A Feminine Moment. Bye-bye.
Bye.